Today I'm going to show you how to connect Claude Desktop and the Claude for VS Code extension directly to the Power BI Modeling MCP server, so Claude can actually talk to your Power BI semantic model and understand your entire data model, measures, visuals, and logic. With Claude hooked up to the Power BI MCP server, you get semantic-aware reasoning. Claude can inspect your model, generate migration plans, and produce deployment-ready artifacts. From a business perspective, this means you can accelerate Power BI development or conversions to other platforms like Databricks for conversions, automating documentation, standardizing how analytics logic is translated across platforms. From a development perspective, you reduce manual reverse engineering, avoid black box measures, and create reusable instructions that other tools like the Databricks MCP, for example, can pick up and act on. In this demo, we're going to connect Claude Desktop to the Power BI Modeling MCP server, use Claude to analyze a store sales Power BI report and output a full PDF-style conversion plan for Databricks, then connect Claude for VS Code to the same MCP server and generate a structured set of instructions that can drive downstream processes and connect to other MCPs. Before we get into the runtime flow, let's quickly cover the prerequisites. First, in VS Code, you need the Power BI Modeling MCP extension installed. This is the bridge that exposes the Power BI model as a server that Claude can query. Next, you'll need the Claude Desktop app, which is where we'll initially configure the MCP server connection. And finally, install the Claude for VS Code extension, which lets the VS Code-based Claude agent talk to the same MCP server once it's configured. Let's start by locating the Power BI Modeling MCP server executable file. By default, that would exist under your Visual Studio Code extensions folder in your local drive. To navigate to the folder and copy the full path for the Power BI modeling-mcp.exe file and paste it into a temporary notepad so you can copy it later. Next, open Claude Desktop, go to Settings, Developer, click Edit Config, and that opens your Claude Desktop config file. Now open that config file in Visual Studio Code and paste in the following MCP server connection details, and remember to add the double backsplashes so the Windows paths are escaped correctly. After saving, restart Claude Desktop, go back to the Developer tab, and you'll see the Power BI Modeling MCP is now available and running. This means Claude can now talk to your Power BI model. Now that the MCP server is running, let's verify access. I'll ask Claude something like, do you have access to the Power BI Modeling MCP server? Claude confirms it has the MCP connection and provides a list of all the things it can do. Well, that's our signal that the integration is wired up correctly. I'm going to open an existing store sales Power BI report and ask Claude to fully analyze the semantic model and report for a Databricks dashboard conversion. Claude's job is to inspect the data model, all measures and DAX, along with every visual, filter, and slicer in the report, and then map them into a Databricks-ready plan. In a few seconds, you'll see that Claude generates a PDF-style readout on screen. The value is that instead of reverse engineering this manually, you get a single reusable blueprint that captures all the logic and can be used by engineers or automation tools to rebuild the dashboard, or even for business stakeholders that might need to review the logic. Now, let's connect Claude for VS Code to the same Power BI Modeling MCP server. As a quick prerequisite, make sure you have git bash installed or a terminal that VS Code can use for local commands. If you're not sure where the VS Code Claude config file lives, just ask Claude itself, where is the Claude config file for VS Code? Claude will point us to the right location, and then I'll open that file in VS Code and paste in the same MCP server details we used in Claude Desktop. After saving, restart VS Code so the change takes effect. Then ask Claude in VS Code, do you have access to the Power BI Modeling MCP server? Sure enough, it confirms that it's ready and can now inspect the semantic model from inside your editor. Next comes one of the most powerful pieces. I give Claude a plan mode prompt that tells it to generate a step-by-step plan for how it would reverse engineer the Power BI model and turn it into a Databricks-ready instruction set. I'm going to give Claude a much simpler high-level ask. Inspect the open Power BI semantic model, pull all the core pieces like tables, columns, measures, relationships, DAX, and roles, and organize them into a single markdown plan file called modelinstructionsplan.md. Claude will save the file directly inside the existing Power BI Claude folder, then outline how the plan can be turned into final instructions. The key business value here is that you're creating reusable, processable instructions that can be fed into other systems to automate dashboard creation, model migrations, or governance workflows. To wrap up, this setup, connecting Claude Desktop and Claude for VS Code to the Power BI Modeling MCP server, gives you a powerful automation layer on top of your Power BI investments. If you want to replicate this, I'll leave all the exact prompts and the config snippets in the description. Thanks for watching.